Hello everybody, welcome back to Thornton Farm. Today we're actually going to be getting rid of the Amazon Pantera. We don't need it anymore. It is of no use to us, so let's sell that. We actually want to do a purchase. Let's go in and actually purchase something here. What we're going to purchase is... we could buy that actually. But I think what we're going to get is the... kind of between the Gyrax and the Sip Orion. 15,000, 12,000. Really looking like the Gyrax is going to be our best bet. For another... yeah. The Gyrax EBMX 155 is going to be our best bet. We're going to get a manure spreader for the compost, of which we have lots. Off camera, I moved a bunch of compost out of the compost master. It is ready to take more. I will actually do the field edges at some point soon. But Quentin is here. Quentin is here with us today. He is in the class Dominator. And he is harvesting. He has actually told us. He come down and said, "Dave, I've got a present for you." And I said, "Okay, what is it, Quentin?" He said, well, I went up to visit him, actually, didn't I? Went up, and the combine parked at the side of a field for some reason. I said, "Quentin, how did you harvest all the fields if the combine... why are your windrows so spread apart?" He said, "Well, I didn't use this combine, I used a different one." I said, "Okay. Why didn't you use your combine?" He said, "Well, I wanted to give it to you and I didn't want to break it." I thought that was really nice of him. So he actually he has given us the Dominator, and we will be using that. He's driving it for us today. We're going to be sorting him out with unloading him. And I'm really hoping this goes the way that I'd like it to go. Now, I'm really hoping he manages to get to the end of this headland that he's doing. But I'm getting the feeling that he won't, and that'll be a problem. Because I'd need to realistically do a full loop of the field to get there. As silly as that sounds, we might just about get it done. You might get close enough that I can reverse to it. That's just far enough away that I'm going to have to drive a full round of the field. Also, that combine, you can see, isn't very wide. That is, you know, a bit of an issue with the combine. I've told him to do 6 headlands, which sounds overkill, but the combine's so thin that I think 6 headlands is going to be just about enough. So that he doesn't have problems that he's turning around at the end of the field. I hope. So while Quentin's doing that, we are actually going to be scooting off in the fast track. I'm bringing the Gyrax back down to the... well, down to probably the yard with the compost master. The industrial estate. Because that would be where it makes sense to keep it. We do have the extension on our trailer today because we're going to be... we're going to need a lot of capacity, and I figured an increased capacity for this was a good idea. Don't quite know why Quentin's driving so slowly, but he has slowed to a crawl with the combine. I'm guessing he wants to be fully emptied before he needs to make it. No, he's making the turn anyway. What are you doing, Quentin? Let's just leave him empty the combine there and just reverse out of his way. Just leave the trailer there for now. So we are going to head off with the Gyrax. And get that over to the industrial estate. As, I guess, the compost spreader for the industrial estate itself. There we go. You didn't miss much over the summer. Nothing much got done. We just kind of let the grass grow. We went on a bit of a holiday. It was a nice little holiday. And yeah, we're back now. It's early autumn. Time to get harvesting. We're going to need to... We could, in theory, do some Stonehenge work as well today. I think that might be an idea, is grabbing the grasshopper and getting that over to Stonehenge so we can actually mow that up today as well. Get some multitasking on the go. So, when I said there was a lot of compost being made, I wasn't kidding. That is... This shed was built to hold the compost, and hold the compost it does. Now we'll just put the Gyrax into this shed, because it's the only place that it really makes sense for it to be. There's about 150,000 litres of compost in there. Which I'm glad that it's dry compost, because if that was manure, it would be extremely smelly. So first things first, our priority has to be the harvest. So let's get back over to the field. We're going to need the fast track on the trailer for sure. We're going to just stock up the wheat. We're going to store it. We're going to keep it in stock for a little while. Probably until sometime in the summer when we can sell it off. I believe the prices aren't great at the moment. Let's just have a look. Prices are... 407 isn't bad, but it could be a lot better. I mean, you look at the price of canola and soybeans, that's very depressed prices at the moment. So we're going to hold off until possibly even springtime and just see what the prices do. And once kind of... For whatever reason, all the prices around here seem to be linked. So once the soybean breaks £1,000 a ton, that's when we will start with the sales. Now, Quentin's making a really nice... He's making good work in this field here. Let's have a look at his progress. Yeah, that's actually going a lot faster than I would have expected. Well done, Quentin. You're impressing me. Now, one thing I should have done that I didn't do was, or is, because I could still do it, just mow the edges of the field and top that off. Now, I don't have a dedicated topper or bush hog or whatever you want to call it at the moment, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring the grasshopper in here and get that working on the field edges, because you can see this, you know, where the grass has been mushed down by the tractor. It's not particularly pretty. So let's get that under. Why are you moving again, Quentin? Why are you doing this? What on earth are you doing? Why you do this, Quentin? Okay, so we can't get the grasshopper because Quentin's decided he wants to very, very slowly roll while unloading. So we gotta just keep our foot very gentle on the throttle here and unload the harvester in a redonkulously slow manner because Quentin's decided that's the way it's gonna happen. Come on. Finish unloading, you have. Fantastic. So to the grasshopper we go, which has actually been over at the sheep. And it's still nearly full actually. Let's just reverse this up. Might need to throw some grass into the compost master. Let's see, yeah. Let's just get that cleaned up real quick. And we'll empty the rest of this into the compost master. It's not going to be that big a deal. It's, what, 86,000? Oh, it is going to be a big deal because the compost master is going to be full. Just realized that is going to be an issue. I don't have anywhere to store grass. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure something out there. But I think we might be able to get away with getting 50,000 off the field edges themselves and figure out a solution to the problem later. Alright, so you can see there's a little pile of compost there that needs to be moved, but not so much that it's going to be problematic. Let's just back this up now. Fuel's down quite a bit actually, 7,000 litres of fuel remaining, so it doesn't sound like it's low, but it is kind of low. So we'll just get 50,000 litres of grass into the compost master. Get ready to go. Is that it all out? Yep. So it's off to the edge of the field with this. Whoop. Or straight into a hedge. I mean, that works too. I think I broke something. There we go. Off to the field, where we can quickly and conveniently hop between... It would appear that I forgot to sell off one of the things of honey. We do actually have money at the moment, by the way. I was stockpiling the honey over the summer, sold it all off there not too long ago. We've got a few £1,000 ready. What is it? Oh yeah, we had also the income from the selling the Pantera, so we got £126,000. We might be able to buy a second field. Huh. That was something that never occurred to me, was we could potentially buy a second field. I don't know if a farmer's going to want to sell their field, though. I mean, it's harvest time. Unless there's somebody around here that's in major financial problems, I can't see anybody wanting to sell off a field of... literally a field of perfectly good crops. I wouldn't do it. I mean, unless you want the money right this second, as opposed to, you know, a couple of months down the line, then there's no real rhyme nor reason to selling off your actual field. Maybe once the harvest's done, but I did see a few fields around here where the harvest is done, so we might be able to get something going there, like that field. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna have some words around town. I'll go to the pub, the pubs, both of them, and see what's going on around with people. See if anybody's willing to part with a field. Ideally for a low price of nothing, but for as low a price as possible. Although, one thing that's just occurred to me that we could do is, how much is it? 180. We're a bit short on the big M, but we could... We could potentially get a big M very soon. Now, I did notice that the Pantera, or the Dominator's full, don't worry. Just wanted to get the mower out of the field. So that's much better. Now the field is... Well, now I don't feel so bad about crunching the grass. Because that was good compostable... Good grass that could have been turned into compost. Compostable? Compostizing? I don't know what the word is. Do you want to maybe scoot your wheat into the thingy? There we go. You're going to start driving now, aren't you? Oh, what are you doing, Quentin? Oh, you... absolute... Like, look at this. I'm driving at 2 kilometers an hour. He's forcing me to drive at 2 or 3 kilometers an hour just to unload him. What an unbelievable get. Although this trailer is almost full. In fact, it's as good as full, so let's get this over and into our storage bin. Let's get this back to the yard. Leave Quentin to do all the hard work while we just drive around doing random jobs and things. See, now I'm trying to think up a way of getting the remaining money together without having to, this is going to sound bad, having to mow or put in any effort. I do know of a few jobs that are available. I know there's a couple of people looking to get trees taken out of their houses and whatnot. We could do that. We obviously need to do Stonehenge again. I wonder, could we sell some of the compost? I'm gonna have a look into that. Gonna have a bit of a walk around or a bit of a drive around. See if anywhere is willing to actually buy compost off me, because that would be a bit of a best case scenario, because I mean, number one, it'd be getting rid of some of the compost, and I think I might have too much, in fact. I mean, if I don't have enough, I can always buy a fertilizer pellet spreader. That's, you know, that's a thing that can be done. It's not the end of the world if I need to buy one. It just means that I've oversold compost. But if I were to be able to sell the compost, I could name the price effectively. And that, yeah, obviously within reason. I'm not going to just say, I £1 million per pound of compost. I'm not going to be that evil. But what I could do is I could say, well, you know, there's a lot of effort and time going into the compost. There's a lot of fuel too, and I've got to cover costs because that you know, the more I have, it's not very fuel efficient, and you know, the compost master itself, it runs through fuel quite quickly. So I mean, I gotta cover my fuel costs, and that's a few hundred per ton. Then there's maintenance on top of that, and you know, I've gotta have a telehandler to even move the compost in the first place. And then you got the costs of the tractor and trailer, and, you know, it's prices. You know, you're the costs of making this just stacking up here. So I mean, I can't really sell it cheap, can I? Could do something like that, which, yeah, maybe not ethical, but it would get me money. That's one of the things that we're a bit concerned about at the moment. My issue now is, where on earth am I going to store all that grass? Now, I do have an idea of just making a zonking great pile of... I could turn it into silage. Why would I want to turn it into silage, though? I mean, I could store it over by the compost master itself. That might be an idea. But I'd realistically need, let's say, a conveyor belt to be able to do that. Also, it's just occurred to me that the combine's nearly full again. I'd need a conveyor belt to do that. Is that a worthwhile investment, getting a conveyor belt just for the compost master? Well, I mean, there's some logical thinking here. If I had a conveyor belt, number one, it'd be a lot easier to unload the compost master, because I then wouldn't actually need the telehandler over there full time, because I could just stick the conveyor belt into the compost and be bada bing bada boom, I'm done. I could also use the conveyor belt to move the compost from the storage shed into either the manure spreader or compost spreader, or the trailer to be sold off. And then of course you got the advantage that I can just stockpile grass and effectively dump the grasshopper onto the conveyor belt and make a giant pile of grass that way. I think that's what I'll do. I think that is quite possibly the best solution to the non-problem of the compost master filling up at 50,000. I can of course top it off as I'm over there, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's coming on to its final headland now. So yeah, let's... Is there a conveyor belt that would be useful here? AL8022 with automatic loading system. Only 12 grand. And it has a hitch. So I can just spin this around. Somewhat literally spin it around. Go over to the conveyor... Oh, this is going to work perfectly. Somewhat. Go over to the conveyor belt and... I know there's going to be somebody in YouTube complaining about what I'm about to do. Because this thing has a hitch. Bubba put a hitch on my lawnmower. Which, I mean, if it's got a hitch, it can move. Ah, there is a downside. It's now severely limited the turning circle of the grasshopper. By which I mean, I don't think the grasshopper can turn anymore. It can, just not very much. What's going on with this then? Why is the grasshopper having a, like, 0 turning circle? Because, oh, it's picked up some straw for some reason. That's highly inconvenient. Oh, that's very inconvenient, actually, because now I've got to throw straw away. I'm literally throwing money away just to get this thing over to the compost master. I would have been better off using the Massey or something to move this, wouldn't I? Because I'm just going to keep having issues with the way this is going to behave. And I don't know if I can get it into the compost master yard, the composting yard, or the, well, the what is quickly becoming the main yard of the industrial estate, because that's what most of the Oh, come on. You know you want to move. Never thought of raising the conveyor belt like that, did I? Because now suddenly it's a lot more maneuverable, because it can go over obstacles instead of hitting them. Right. Next problem is going to be what to do with the grass, and that is basically going to be solved by reversing up to the compost master. As cynical as that is, it's the best way of... well, not the grass, the straw. Reversing up to the straw, or to the compost master like so. Should, in theory, it's not going to though. Okay. Why not? Because I don't have this selected. And it's not turned on apparently. Okay, it just doesn't want to behave, does it? That's perfectly fine, because I can say unload. Yep. Unload here with the straw. And then move this, we'll say, over to... I've picked the straw up again. Oh dear, that's not gone well. Move it to, say, here-ish. Ish. Like that. Disconnect. Now, this is running free. If I were to hire a worker, what would happen? No. There's a thing that I can do here somewhere. Well, maybe not. That should be fine. That should be fine. Because I can start unloading the grass here. And barring some sort of major malfunction, it'll pick the grass up and dump it into a pile like exactly like that. Now there's a... There was a way to do this. Interesting. So that's one huge humongous pile of grass that's not even all the grass. Oh my god! It's all going wrong. Is there like a button over here I can press somewhere? Well, it's just wanting to be a bit of a douchebag, is it? Interesting. Oh well. Problem for later. This is... Yeah, the combine's full. Quentin's needing us, but we need to get this grass moved first. That is for sure. I never did unload the grass into the compost master. That was a bit of a silly idea. It's fine though. We can worry about that at a later point. In fact, we can dump the last 7,000 liters here into the compost master. And I think it's time for me to leave you by saying I've been RainbowDave. You've been watching Farming Simulator 17 on Thornton Farm. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. There's a playlist in the description or in the end screen. If you want to have a look at it, it should be in the card as well. But until next time, stay safe. And goodbye. Now you can see that I was using horseplay this entire time.